All right, we are ready to begin. Honored parents, guests, distinguished alumni, friends, and colleagues of the department, welcome to the 2022 Department of Economics graduation. My name is Eric Zivit. I'm the chairman of the economics department, and I have the honor to be the master of ceremonies for today's graduation event. Congratulations to the Department of Economics class of 2022. Students, you have been through much during your time at the University of Washington, and we want to congratulate you on your achievement. However, there are many who played a part in getting you to where you are today. I invite you now to stand and give a round of applause to those family members and friends who have helped you along your journey and who are here celebrating with us today. I ask you to celebrate these individuals in your own way while you also celebrate your achievement. Congratulations to you, the Department of Economics class of 2022. You have earned your degree in economics. What now? You have learned to view the world through the eyes of an economist. Economics is a special field. With this degree, you are trained to enter the workforce as a consultant, an analyst, or any number of titles. You may be considering graduate school, looking to study law, earn your MBA, or delve deeper into the world of economics through a master's or PhD program. This degree does not provide you with a straightforward path. Rather, it opens doors for you to apply what you've learned to what really matters to you. The past year has been full of changes, with the return of in-person classes and events, as well as the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. We are grateful that we can be here together today. This past year has taught us each a deeper sense of flexibility and resilience. You have all learned so much about your own ability to accomplish what matters to you. I'm grateful to see you all here today and to welcome you and your loved ones back to campus for our first in-person graduation ceremony in 3 years. The Economics Department Visiting Committee holds a special role in the department. Consisting of alumni and local professionals, we rely on this advisory board throughout the year. It is this group that reviews candidates and elects our department's distinguished alum each year. Tonight's honored speaker and recipient of this year's Distinguished Alumnus Award from the Department of Economics is Mr. Tom Gonzer. Tom graduated from UW with his undergraduate degree in economics in 1985. Currently, Tom is a venture investor focusing on early-stage technology companies in the Northwest, with a focus on digital enterprise, identity, machine learning, AI, and smart contracts. Tom sits on several boards of early-stage technology companies across many sectors. Prior to venture investing, Tom was the founder of DocuSign, a global cloud-based electronic signature and workflow platform, which went public in 2018, and today has over 1 million paying customers and manages billions of transactions per year. Prior to DocuSign, Tom founded several other companies in the Seattle area, and after starting out with category creators Apple Computer and Macaw Cellular in his early career. I am now pleased to invite Tom Gonzer to deliver the keynote graduation address.
Thanks, Eric. That's great, and great to be here on a sunny evening. Good afternoon and congratulations to the class of 2022. You guys had a hard road. COVID made this one of the most challenging times to graduate in the last century. And I want to recognize the extra effort you had to put in to get here today. This congratulations is for everyone as well. It's for the parents who went through this with you. It's for the families. It's for the faculty and the staff. You should all be very, very proud of this day. I'd also like to thank the Department of Economics and the Visiting Committee for selecting me as a distinguished alumnus of the School of Economics. It was very unexpected, and I'm honored to be here. I graduated the same year this award was conceived, in 1985. That's 37 years ago. I think it's 141 quarters if you're still in school. You might be expecting a talk about economics, but that's not my plan. No Laffer curves, no game theory, no Giffen goods, none of that stuff. I didn't have a traditional economics career path, but I will try to relate my story and perspective to economics because I think it's an incredible time to have a degree that teaches important analytical skills that help you think strategically in any career you choose. My theme for you today as graduates of the School of Economics is change. At its core, economics is really about the study of change. Changing economies, changing technology, money supply, energy, regulations, and our world is changing in every imaginable way. Your education gives you key insights that will help you navigate the disruptions that the future holds. You understand opportunity costs, sunk costs, marginal costs, how statistics impacts outcomes, and what's relevant and what's not relevant. You also understand you can model just about anything, even if you shouldn't. You understand economic disruptions, why they happen, and the impacts they can have. Your advantage right now is you have the tools you need to be an economic thinker. First, to set a perspective, I'd like to share my journey. It's not a straight line, which always concerned my father. In my junior year, I worked a summer at the Chicago Board of Trade as a runner. This was a perfect job for an econ major, running trades in and out of the pits. It was a manual open outcry system that felt like hand-to-hand combat with the traders. The T-bill pits were literally the sausage factory that drove the important elements of our economy. Today, the manual trading is almost completely gone. Computers have completely disrupted that market. When I graduated from the University of Washington in 1985, my first job was at Boeing as a computer analyst. I learned how to work in a large company, and I learned a lot there, but ultimately wanted a faster pace, and I wanted fewer guardrails. So I went down to Apple Computer in Silicon Valley. Be careful what you wish for. Apple Computer in 1986 had no guardrails at all. I didn't meet my first boss until 2 weeks I was on the job, and I was hoping I was doing the right thing. But we were on a mission to change the world. We were disrupting how work got done by delivering a graphic user interface on a computer that changes what computers could actually do. Very revolutionary at the time. Then in 1993, I went to Macaw Cellular. Probably not that many people in this audience remember Macaw Cellular. Probably been to Macaw Hall, but it was one of the largest cellular carriers in the country. I joined a very high-powered team of MBAs there, and I felt really challenged. We were building the first cellular data network. Yes, there was a time before you could get internet on your phone. There were several false starts as we got going. Analysts at one point called it a $0 billion industry. But today you can't take 3 steps without seeing mobile in action. We disrupted how people communicate, really on a global scale. In 1988, AT&T bought Macaw, and I was back at a big company. And I'd seen several disruptive technologies get built and launched, and I felt it was time to try this on for myself, which made my dad nervous again. I wanted to build something and take it public. It's kind of like wanting to be an NFL player. The statistics are not great. But as a free agent, I started several companies you've never heard of. INEO linked barcodes to print advertising in 1997, way too early. There was GPS Flight, Rapid Fire, Zero G, a lot of other companies that you've never heard of. These attempts did not pan out, but the trial and error and the experience was really important for me, even if the companies were not. Finally, in 2003, I did manage to start and take a company public, DocuSign. It only took 15 years. DocuSign was the first cloud-based e-signature platform, disrupting a 4,000-year-old process of signing on paper. Digitization made it 10 times faster, 10 times less expensive, and 10 times easier than the paper process. So we were completely disrupting agreements and how business transactions happen. That journey was not fast, nor was it easy, and it almost failed several times. It wouldn't have been possible without my prior experiences or without my education in economics from UW. I can't tell you how many business models we created, how many pricing strategies we ran through, how many forecasts we had to put together. It would not be possible if I was not an economic thinker. This journey is important because it illustrates the huge changes in the world between 1985 and today. A series of dramatic disruptions changed everything. Your journey forward will see even more disruption than this. Let's consider the world in 1985. No public internet. Not even a World Wide Web. That was 1991. No social media. No wireless data. How would you get around without a map on your phone? Can you imagine? Cell phones did exist, but they were thousands of dollars and they're incredibly heavy and usually tied to your car. The Apple Macintosh cost $2,500 and ran at 6 megahertz and had a 400K disk drive and it weighed 17 pounds. The phone in your pocket right now is a third the price, 2,500 times faster, and 38 times smaller. In 1985, the top companies were Exxon, GM, Mobil, Ford, and Texaco. No technology stocks in the top 5. In 1985, a movie came out called Back to the Future. They tried to forecast what the world would be like in 2015. They did predict biometrics, personal drones, and mobile payments. They missed on a lot of other things. They missed on hoverboards, self-lacing shoes, cars that run on garbage, and flux capacitors. It's really hard to predict the future. Look at the world today. Can you imagine forecasting our world today back in 1985? Your Apple Watch has more power than a Cray supercomputer in 1980 that cost $32 million. We're globally connected. A miner in Mongolia has access to more information than any world leader did in 1985, but still can't tell what is fake news. A global pandemic has killed 12.3 million people, decimated employment, cost tens of millions of jobs, and disrupted global supply chains. The companies with the largest market caps today did not exist in 1985. Alphabet, Amazon, Tesla, Facebook are all new and have trillion-dollar market caps. 59 million Americans work in the gig economy, contributing $1.2 trillion to the US economy with no office, no boss, and no set hours. These huge unforecasted disruptions are challenges, but these can be opportunities for you as graduates of the School of Economics. Consider the world today. The pandemic changed work forever. If you told me you would shut down our economy and spend $5 trillion to recover, my economic brain would predict a complete collapse of everything. But it didn't completely collapse. The CARES Act seemed to have averted disaster there, at least pushed it out a few years. During the pandemic, people got a feel for not working. We saw the Great Resignation. There's 2 jobs today for every 2 seekers. Wages felt too low and people did not like their work environment because they'd work from home. This further fueled the gig economy and remote work. What's the impact of a more and more distributed workforce? What industries can advance even faster with a remote workforce? These are great questions for an economic thinker. For people in countries, cryptocurrencies, distributed ledgers, and NFTs are disrupting finance. These new technologies have a huge potential to impact our banking on a global scale. 1.7 billion people don't have a bank account, but they do have a cell phone, so they can own and trade cryptocurrencies. For people in countries where there are currency stability issues, cryptocurrencies allow them to trade freely across borders, connecting them to more stable economies. Today, DeFi, distributed finance, has locked up $239 billion in assets and could be 100 times bigger in 5 years. Smart contracts are rewriting how banking transactions execute, with very low transaction costs, no middleman, across borders, and happening 10 times faster. No longer will we need to trust in a banking system, which is slower and expensive, when we can rely on the truth in an algorithm that's not controlled by a bank or government. BNY Mellon, custodian for over $46 trillion in assets, is aggressively working on a digital assets platform today. This could be a great job for an economic thinker. Goods and services that used to be entire companies and industries dissolved into free or nearly free apps and services. Consider mapping, photography, communications, payments, and storage. This is digitization. Companies who fail to evolve and innovate disappear. Eastman Kodak invented the digital camera but did nothing with it. Not because they didn't understand what was going on, they could not make the transition. Disrupt or die is very true and happening faster every day. So how can large businesses change fast? What M&A strategies can they use? These are great questions for economic thinkers. Given all this change today, it's hard to imagine what the future could bring us. Imagine the future. 85% of the jobs we'll see in 2030 haven't been invented yet. So it's not possible to know what will happen. We can only look at the trends and be flexible. And if you thought the last 30 years was dynamic, just hold on. What will your future self be dealing with? A couple of thoughts. The automated economy. It's projected that AI will be better than humans at possibly all jobs by 2060. Between now and then, AI will take over many white-collar jobs while increasing economic output. This may actually reverse the labor productivity decline we've seen in recent decades. If this happens too quickly, unemployment could rise as people can't retrain fast enough. If it's too slow, we don't keep up. How can we retrain on scale? How can we manage AI's impact on business? How can we reverse the productivity decline? You'll be glad you're an economic thinker. What about future pandemics? Global pandemics are arguably the most expensive economic disasters ever. And they happen very infrequently, so public support for prevention is a big challenge. Researchers at Duke Global Health Institute estimate that pandemics like COVID-19 are increasing in probability and another is likely within 59 years. How will we build infrastructure to be better prepared for these economically expensive events next time? What economic incentives can be put in place? You'll be glad you're an economic thinker. As you imagine your future, next year, 5 years from now and beyond, consider the impact of these big disruptions. But even more, consider the secondary and tertiary impacts of these changes. Think past the obvious. What else is true when AI starts taking white-collar jobs? What else is true when we have another pandemic? What else is true when all cars are autonomous? What new regulations will we need? What new jobs? What new businesses? You'll be glad you're an economic thinker. So your road ahead is both extremely exciting and challenging. This would not be complete without a mention of what's likely to remain important. Human characteristics of success, honesty, integrity, and yes, curiosity. Perhaps overlooked your interpersonal skills, to be empathetic but execution-oriented, and be a team builder. And of course, your ability to be adaptable and agile. These attributes will contribute to your success no matter how fast technology moves. So in conclusion, I'd like to give you a few words as you embark on your journey. Number one, believe in yourself. And with that confidence, find jobs that really challenge you. Take risks. This is where you're going to learn the most. Number two, nothing is ever as good or as bad as you think it is. Remember that the next time you feel the world collapsing around you or you win the lottery. And finally, nothing succeeds like persistence. You'll win in the end if you never give up. So congratulations, good luck, and bon voyage. To quote Dr. Seuss, you have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself in any direction you choose. You're on your own, and you know what you know. And you are the one who'll decide where to go. You live in amazing times, and you're ready for the future because you're all economic thinkers. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom, for that very inspirational graduation speech. We appreciate your thoughtful and pertinent remarks, and we are honored to have you as our distinguished alumnus for 2022. Please welcome Professor and Graduate Program Director Chuan Wen to the stage for the presentation of doctoral degrees.
Hi, good evening. My name is Chuan Wen. I'm a professor of economics and the director of the PhD program in economics. On behalf of the whole department, I would like to congratulate all of our PhD recipients this year. This is an incredible achievement and important milestone in your personal life and academic careers. We're able to celebrate you. The past 2 years have presented each of you unique challenges. Your ability to overcome them have made you stronger and more resilient. You are able to turn the uncertainty into opportunities. We are joined today by our PhD recipients from a class of 2020, 2021, and 2022. 38 outstanding graduate students have earned their PhD in the last 2 years. 10 of them will be here today in person. The PhD program developed professional economists for career in teaching, government, research organizations, and private industries. For those students, earning their PhDs is accumulations of years of their hard work in their research. Now, I would like to recognize our 2020, 2021, and 2022 PhD recipients. Please come to the stage, please.
Shikha Ugarval, her dissertation on regional variation in U.S. homeownership rates, and her chairs were Eric Zivet and Thomas Gilbert. Wee Ron Chan, her dissertation was on essays on labor and development economics, and her chair was Elena Rose. Hee Jung, Kathy Jung, their dissertation was on digital platforms and sharing economy, and her chair was Pat Burari. Yida Lee wrote his dissertation on essays on international finance and currency economics, and his chair was Yuchin Chen. Ferdous Zaman Shardar wrote his dissertation on essays on health behaviors in low-income countries, and his chair was Rachel Heath. Pushpak Sarkar wrote his dissertation on essays on financial markets, and his chairs were Eric Zivet and Yuchen Chen. Kwang Yu Wang wrote his dissertation on essays in empirical industrial organizations, and his chair was Yuya Takahashi. Leah Xu wrote her dissertation on essays on the economics of the motion picture industry, and her chair was Yuya Takahashi. Congratulations to our 2020-2022 graduates, PhD graduates.
All right. So next, we are going to announce the recipients of a few fellowships. So the first one is Henry T. Bucho Memorial Fellowships, is awarded by competition proposal to students showing outstanding teaching record, as well as outstanding academic record with a joint research project with faculty members. Professor Bucho was UW economics faculty members for almost 30 years, beginning in 1942. He was widely considered as one of the most inspirational educators on campus during his time. He received his bachelor and master degrees from Washington State College, now known as the Washington State Universities. His PhD degree from University of Wisconsin. The Bucho Award was established in 1972 by his friends and family to honor and encourage outstanding members of our department. So this year's recipient of Bucho's fellowships is our Ajashi Data. 文道学 Junwoo Park. Okay, they're not here anyway. So next we have the Grover and Greta Ingley Fellowship in Economics Policy is given to assist exceptional graduate students in our department, encouraging training of the students in theoretical and technical economic knowledge to improve policy and administration in public and private sectors. Those students were chosen from their outstanding potential in the field of public policy. This award was created by Grover Inslee, who served as the first executive director of the Joint Economic Committee of Congress, as the president of the National Association of Mutual Saving Bank. He earned his PhD. He earned his bachelor degree in economics and business in 1973, and his MBA in 1939 from the University of Washington. This year's Inslee's fellowship is rewarded to. We have people here. Okay. We have George Rivero. And we have two other recipients. They are not here today. Reina Kawai and Su Yung Jones. Our third fellowship is the Raw Graduate Fellowship Award was created by Jeff Perry Rowe. Jeff Rowe graduated from UW with his BA in economics in 1988 and MBA in 1997, and now serves as the president and CEO of Premier Blue Cross. This is our newest award and given to two students at the end of their second years. Those students have shown outstanding academic performance in their first 2 years in the program. This year's Raw Fellowship is awarded to Nadia Diwakans. The second one goes to Lucas Hager. Thank you very much.
The Bucho Award for Distinguished Undergraduate Teaching is awarded to an outstanding instructor in the Department of Economics each year. Henry Bucho was a professor of economics at the University of Washington from 1941 to 1970 and inspired countless students in his courses. This award was established in 1972 by his friends and family to honor and encourage other educators in our department. Congratulations to Elena Rose, our 2022 Henry T. Bucho Award winner for Distinguished Undergraduate Teaching. Unfortunately, Elena is not able to be here tonight to accept her award, and I accept it in her place. Now I'd like to introduce Associate Teaching Professor Melissa Knox, co-director of our undergraduate program, to present the undergraduate awards.
Hi, everyone. So I'm going to read off some names for the awards, and if the recipients are here, it would be great if they could come up and get their certificates. The first award is the George and Pearl Corkery Scholarship. It was established in 1987 by Alberta C. Corkery to honor her parents, George and Pearl. The scholarship is given to juniors who have demonstrated outstanding academic achievement. The George and Pearl Corkery Scholarship is awarded this year to Benjamin Roscoe and Xiao Chao Sun. In 1995, Ms. Corkery endowed a second scholarship in her own name for a talented student in need of financial assistance to continue their studies. Ms. Corkery earned a bachelor's degree in economics at the University of Washington in 1937, and she was the only woman in her class who majored in economics. This year, the Alberta Corkery Scholarship is awarded to Tian Chi and Grace Du. Our recipients cannot be here in person, but they are enjoying today's celebration on live stream, I hear, so congratulations. Next, we have the J. Parker and Evelyn Schruff Scholarship. It's made possible by a gift from Parker and Evelyn Schruff. The scholarship was established in 1991, and the donors believe that the Bachelor of Arts degree in economics earned by J. Parker Schruff at the University of Washington in 1964 prepared him to become an effective entrepreneur. We are happy to continue Parker's legacy through this award. The winner of the Schruff Scholarship this year is Amanda Kagurabi. We're also grateful to Olga Young for the Yanlan and Robert Young Scholarship given in honor of her parents. This endowment was created to honor Yanlan and Robert Young, who gave their daughter the greatest gift any parents could give, the value of an education and the sense of striving to do what is right. We are pleased that Olga is able to be here celebrating with us this afternoon. And the Young Scholarship this year is Suchang Lucas Zhang, who I think is not here. But congratulations. The Friends of Economics Scholarship is funded by gifts to the department and through our department fundraisers and generous donors. The recipient of this year's Friends of Economics Scholarship is Anastasia Arkat. Congratulations. The Clifford G. and Wanda M. Call Student Support Fund in Economics was established in 2013 by alumnus Carrie Call, who received a BA in 1973 and an MBA in 1983, in honor of his parents. While they did not have the opportunity to attend college, his parents made it possible for Carrie and his brothers to go. Carrie had the good fortune to take Intro to Economics from Professor Douglas North and continued to earn his BA in Economics and MBA from UW. Mr. Call is Director of Financial Management, Compliance, and Procurements in Information Technology at UW, where he has spent his entire career. Our recipient of the Call Award this year is Rajira Rajana Pansatith. The Bogdan Scholarship was established in 2007 with a bequest by Albert Bogdan to endow a partial scholarship for economics undergraduate students, and this is only the 6th year it has been awarded. Mr. Bogdan graduated from UW in 1936 with degrees in economics and history, and he spent much of his career teaching in the Enumclaw School District. This year, the Bogdan Scholarship is awarded to Xuchang Shui. And two of our current esteemed professors created the Michelle and Stephen Ternovsky Endowed Undergraduate Scholarship. We are grateful to Michelle and Stephen for their contribution to our undergraduate program and the success of its students. This award goes to one of our honors students who is also a member of the Economics Undergraduate Board and can be used to cover tuition and other educational expenses. The recipient of the Michelle and Stephen Ternovsky Endowed Scholarship is Emma Camp. All right, I'm going to turn the podium over to Dennis O'Day, my co-director, and he will go ahead and present the rest of the awards.
Let's see where we are here. We have some additional awards to announce that are not in your program. First, this is the 3rd year that we are awarding the France Scholarship, recently created by the Estate de Lorraine, France, in honor of her sister Dorothy. We are pleased to announce the second recipient of the France Scholarship is Noah Hong, who I don't know if they're here or not. Perhaps not, but congratulations. This is the second year we are announcing the Frymouth Endowed Undergraduate Scholarship. This award provides financial assistance for a student pursuing an economics degree, and we are delighted that Zilian Huang is this year's recipient. Is Zilian here? The Agnes C. Nelson Scholarship is made possible by Elmer Nelson, Agnes Nelson's son. The Agnes C. Nelson Memorial Scholarship is awarded to students with an interest in both economics and political science. And this year's winner is Christopher Wagner. Each year, the Department of Economics presents an award to graduating seniors for their academic excellence. We recognize this year our outstanding scholars. When I call your name, please rise. I would like to ask the audience to hold your applause until all the students have risen. This year's outstanding scholars are Shiyun Chen, Samuel Colgan, Nafal Effendi, Yiqing Liu, Helen Manassian, Fawin Prongpaofan, Rao Fu, Chris Kang, Nachiket Karmarkar, Yeon King, Milin Kodnongwa, Hannah Lester, Jiaxin Li, Zeihao Ren, Yuhui Shu, Sihong Yin, Xinmen Zhang, Yihui Zhang, and Yanghe Zhen. Congratulations. Students who complete the Department of Economics honors sequence, which entails writing an honors thesis, are this year's graduates with honors. Again, I'll ask you to stand when I call your name and for us all to wait until everyone is standing to congratulate them. This year's honors students are Isabella Billig, Stefan de Villiers, Nathan Destouche, Maxim Muntian, Brian Reinhardt, Simon Schumacher, Sean Thompson, and Karen Tota. Congratulations. Let me now introduce Michelle Ternovsky, who will talk about this year's outstanding undergraduate paper.
Thank you, Dennis. The Outstanding Paper Award is given to the best thesis, really, in the department. So it recognizes how important it is for our students to be able to carry out advanced research and describe their work and their result clearly. So we acknowledge the outstanding research paper written by an undergraduate student. This year we have 2 Outstanding Paper Award winners, Maxime Montian and Brian Reinhardt. Interestingly, both theses are investigating housing prices, so Redfin and Zero should listen to us now. Maxime Montian's paper is entitled, Does Future Climate Change Affect Current Housing Prices? And their thesis advisor is Yale Jacobs. Maxime uses a regression model with housing price as a dependent variable and an interaction between heat risk and climate change belief as an explanatory variable. Maxime tested his model on 9 different states within the US. 4 of those states did show a negative effect on home prices. So these 4 states have a higher rate of belief in climate change or higher predicted heat risk, allowing him to conclude that people do take climate change into account when purchasing a home, when they believe in it, or when they are likely to experience the effect of climate change. Maxim's strong work and careful analysis leads to a terrific undergraduate honors thesis that expands our understanding of the effects of both climate change itself and the belief in climate change in the housing market. Our second award winner is Brian Reinhardt. His thesis is entitled Pandemic Era Housing Market Thesis, Differential Effect of Remote Work on Home Values in American Cities and Suburbs. And their advisor is Brian Guiney. The question is, have increased opportunity to work remotely during the pandemic affected house prices in the United States? Brian analyzed the effect of remote work on housing price in suburban areas versus central areas of city. Using a very large data set, he found that while house price growth in the inner city exceeded suburban house price growth nationwide between 2019 and 21, when we used disaggregated data, the opposite was true in cities where high propensity for remote work exists. So hence, the impact of increased remote work opportunity on house price varies substantially across cities, and remote work propensity should be accounted for in analysis of local house price pattern. This was a very thorough study based on substantial number of observations and yielding noteworthy and valuable results. Congratulations, Ryan. So nobody's there? I guess not. You come up. Oh, sorry. Yeah, we want to see you. Okay. Congratulations. Good to see you.
Great to see
Good
you.
to see you.
Thank you so much, Professor.
Wonderful. All right. Okay, my next presentation is about the EUB. And please, EUBers, you're supposed to come up on the stage, all of you, all the EUBers around. Since their creation more than 30 years ago, it has been a tradition to recognize the EUB by calling them on stage. So I am going to sing your praise and describe your contribution to the undergraduate program. The EUB is really, it's called the Economics Undergraduate Board, and it's a small group of undergraduates performing services for their peers and providing a liaison with the faculty and the alumni. We have a very large number of undergraduates in our department. So the EUB represents their needs to the department and to the alumni, to the visiting committee too. In addition, the EUBers spend lots of time and efforts improving many aspects of the undergraduate experience in the economics major. The EUBers have a president and they meet every other week to discuss the progress of their activity. The most important task is to help their peers. Everybody in the EUB tutors on a weekly basis at the introductory and intermediate level, and sometimes at the more advanced level. They also offer a math and stat review session at the beginning of each quarter. They write a quarterly newsletter, the Economizer, and maintain their own web page. They carry out a yearly survey of our undergraduates that is presented to the visiting committee and to the deans, by the way, and provide useful information coming directly from the student, from the undergraduate, to the VC and to the deans. So this is the direct links, which is wonderful, very useful for us. Finally, they put together a number of quarterly seminars And one is called the Paul Hens Seminar, after a well-loved professor of economics who was in our department for 30 years. They also offer various information seminars, graduate school seminars, class seminars, and they work with our alumni. So oh, I have to stay there because you won't hear me. I'm talking to you. The HUB is a wonderful group representing the best of our undergraduate. They are full of enthusiasm. They always come up with new initiatives, and it is a lot of fun to work with you all, and the department is most grateful for your contribution to the well-being of our undergraduate. So now at last, I will introduce you formally. So please step forward as your name is called. Okay, I'm going to back with too much danger. Catherine Ackman. Adam Alley. Isabella Billing. Larissa Chen. Prakriti Dahilia. Stefan de Villiers. Okay, I'm going back here. Sorry. Okay. So, should I start again? Or? Okay. So I had Catherine Ackerman, Adam Alley, Isabelle Billig, Larissa Chen, Prakriti Dahilia, Stefan de Villiers, John Donovan, Emma Kem, Christopher Kang, Yan Kim, Srinandan Ramachandran, Benjamin Roscoe, Simon Shoemaker, and John Sullivan. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sorry, I didn't want to turn my back to you guys. So now I'm turning it to Professor Zipot.
All right. To the graduates, I say congratulations. You're terrific, and we are proud of you. To the families who are celebrating with us, thank you for your encouragement. You have raised an exceptional group of individuals. To the alumni and friends who support us, your support makes all the difference to the quality of our program and the promise of our graduates. Thank you from all of us. I will now invite our bachelor degree recipients to come on stage to be recognized. Our undergraduate advisors, Anna and Patrick, will be calling students' names. Students will receive their certificate folder and proceed across the stage. We have photographers at the ceremony who will be taking pictures of each of our graduates with their certificate as they come off stage. And these photos will be available on our website for free downloading within the next week. Please refrain from standing in the aisles to take photos, as it makes it difficult for graduates to make their way to the stage. We have a photo booth set up for after the ceremony, and there will be plenty of time to take photos. We know that this is an exciting moment, and we want to make sure that every graduate and their loved ones can hear their name being called. Please hold applause until the last student is called.
Jing Liu. Christy Lee. Sarah Lizelle Moya Reyes. Andrew Middleman. Laura Beth Jackson. Evan Whitmire. Joseph Lynch.
Yeon Kim. John C. Sullivan. Carol Nathaniel. Brian Reinhardt. Harbir Bath. Leahy Chiswick. Noah Spitz.
Tommy Dong. Karen Yunsi Young. John Wong. Seal Zhao. Shirley Yuhi Shu. Ziheng Liu. Della Zhou. Yanbin Sun. Maxim Muntian. Danfeng Zhang. Yuchen Gui.
Yinchi Wang. Youngyi Zhen. Jiahua Li. Chessie Yu. Yitao Chung. Diyuan Zhao. Shiyun Chen. Ray Fu. Landis Lin. Roy Yu Shin. Nachike Karmarkar. Chiali Chen.
Jiajin Chen. Max Schwarzkopf. Valentina Isepi. Samuel Kerr. Mark Lehman. Serene Al-Sofiani. Molly Deal. Jacqueline Yip. Genevieve Avalani. Nicole Swires. Sean Thompson. Stephen Agan. Riley Marshall. Naufal Effendi.
Ryan Din. Catherine Lee. Sherry Sheng. Kate Tran. Shuyan Sun. Michelle He. Amy Luhan Chern. Jarwei Yao. Yubo Wang. Wei Chen Zhao. Jiayu Huang. Riley Sugi. Arun Jog. Chris Keys. Junhui Han. Jia Howley.
Moses Jung. Enoch Lee. Chunyi Jin. Yuthin Liu. John Shu. Coco Sike Yue. Amanda Kinney. Xiaochen Chu. Kei Wang. Laoan Yu. Yuchin Chao. Nicholas June. Nicholas Sharp. Ruolan Huang. Menja Hu. Ziao Gong.
Catherine Ackman. Isabella Billig. James Young. Su-Yan Hong. Henry Cooey. Mario Vukic. Yuyu Madigan. Clayton Black. Winnie Ma. Sydney Yoshikawa. Haley Cottle. Marianne Tain. Carolyn Fong. Lena Simona Abovsky. Geeta Iyer. Samuel Benjamin Alvarado.
Adrian Lau. Nolan House. Janos Pollock. Catherine Painter. Trista Gia Yun Tan. Zijia Pan. Hanyan Jin. Mariam Tesfaye. Alessandra Stanson. Stefan De Villers. Bobin Hu. Dra-Ren Lee.
Andy Lee. Irena Wen. Dominic Minicello. Alexander Kalpiju. Juan Fan. Arul Auja. Yufei Jung. Pai Chin Kuo. Yuchen Wu. Sinmun Sun. Xie Li. Yirun Wang. Maya Thomas. Luca Kuchan. Nathan Destouche. Cameron Escott. Sabrina Lai. Shruti Singh. Kuvam Bombri. Pragnya Naik. Jack Go. James Saunders. Adam Christopher Ali.
Samuel Colgan. Henry Maxon. Henry Lemaster. Matthew Harris. Hunter Bauman. Connor Barron West. Blake Asplund. Derek Smith. Jason Hui. Tara Bal Deshpande. Madison Rothy. Samantha Merrill. Hannah Maya Lester. Abigail Fiebig. Siying Lee. Cecilia Jinghan Zhang. Lira Ma. Yuqing Liu. Paransi Liu. Sihong Yin. Ziham Liu. Handy Yang. Evelyn Suen. Pawin Prongpafan. Milin Kod Nongbua.
Max Vandekamp. Yanpei Shu. Yufone Zhou. Simon Lavasser Schumacher. Logan William McClarick. Darren Ing. Kaylee Joss. Jason Escolar. Jade Korechian. Bridget Chalmers. Shaylee Scott. Rachel Naruzzo. Sarah Kwama. Christy Luke. Nisha Nirmal. Danica Georgiou. Nina Tsao. Nick Bodeker. Abigail Bleish. Ryan Conti. Connor Quigley. Megan Carl. Ryan Brooks. Noah Galen. Alex Maines. Savannah Baker. Yifan Gao. Yunhai Ji.
Daylin Shen. Chen Su-chan. Helen Chow. Tianyu Cherry Pan. Sitting Tan. Tiffany Tien. Shiyu Han. Evelyn Zhang. Johnny Van. Eason Cho. Lucas Kue. Anthony Gettle. Jack Spearing. Corey Hill. Zoe McPhail. Ryan Hodge. Riley Sampson. Xinyi Chen. Ziyu Shen. Oscar Bai. Zijan Ma. Bo Zhang. Shannon Statler. Josh Stavahog.
All right, we're almost at the end. Graduates can pick up their certificate at the tables behind you where they checked in. We encourage you to use the photo booth we have set up and use hashtag UW-EconGrad22 to be featured on our social media. Thank you all for attending, and congratulations again to all of our graduates. To everyone, I present to you the University of Washington Department of Economics Class of 2022.